Facebook group, Multi-Generational Sisterhood on Facebook, so we can talk about health and wellness and menopause. Multi-generational, because it's not, when we think about the menopausal woman, we initially had a very old person in our mind, and nobody wanted to be her, right? Because she's over the, whatever. And what we've been doing is really changing the face of menopause. It's a beautiful woman that has a lot of experience. It can, I mentioned 30s and 40s, right? So, we used to hear, well, I'm not there yet. And it's because we don't understand we're probably already there. My age went at 51, I mentioned hot flashes. But then I remember in my 40s, I had anxiety, I had, vaginal dryness, I had a number of others, but I really understood those symptoms. I was actually experiencing a number of them, I just didn't know. So what I've been doing is really, starting this business and communities, and then created a tech solution for hot flash relief, which is a device that provides preemptive activation of cool sensation and H.E.R.S to provide relief, and then digital health insights through a connected app. Why? Because we have to be our own advocates. We have to understand. Believe it or not, another trivia, in most medical schools, doctors get about an hour on menopause. 1 hour. 4 years, and then more additional training, about an hour in menopause. When we go to our internist or general practitioner and gynaes, they're not very versed on menopause often, right? There's an organization called the NAMS, that's called like the Menopause Society, but it's a North American Menopause Society. So they were created to have curriculum and certification for physicians to really do a deep dive in menopause. And then have a list.
Can I just interject? Because we sort of had, and I don't want you guys to lose out on anything, but I also want us in the short time that we have to hear from everyone. So if you can, just give us in about 30 seconds or so, just wrap up for us what you think is the most important that they should know from you. Yeah.
So basically, in a nutshell, it's recognizing, perimenopause, all those symptoms. I say all roads really lead to the vagina. So when I was asked to talk here, I was like, well, I was rather hot flash. But then when you really think about it, it's really our reproductive systems. And it's the waxing and waning. So, puberty and then menopause, reproductive winds down. But there are a lot of things relative to vagina. So really understanding ourselves with our own research, being advocates, and then recognizing that we deserve solutions. So if we're not taken seriously by our physicians, then we need to move on, we need to form communities or join communities and really not take no for an answer. Just know that solutions are out there, a variety of solutions.
Okay. Thank you. I know you guys are getting in a lot of information, and I want you to keep in mind that we're going to have a 4 minutes of Q&A. So just jot your questions down. But how many of you real quickly thought menopause meant put men on pause? Just me? Okay. All right. So we're going to move on to Dr. Laurent. And you're going to share with us, because we're talking menopause, we're talking about the young vagina in vaginal health. You're going to visit gut health, hormones. So tell us, how does that all kind of gel together?
Well, I have to start with my, okay, is good? I have to start with my own health. 18 years ago, I was living in a beautiful island of Florida. I had my business there, going to school, and very active in alternative medicine, walking, yoga, exercise, doing everything. And one day, I couldn't move. I couldn't do my clothes anymore. And I have a business. I couldn't talk to day after day, I am there. I can't talk to anyone because the thought kept coming in. I couldn't sit and I'm getting washed and I don't really have anything on my skin. Going to doctors, different was blessed. I always said it was a blessing. While I was there, a doctor, I got connected with a doctor who I think was whatever. And we stayed friends. And I called her and said to her, what's happening with me? I'm losing my mind, I can't do my exercise. Everything's happening, my gut, my belly's getting big, I don't know what to do. And then she said to me, oh, I think you have fibromyalgia. I said, what is this? She said to me, well, go back to your book and start researching and you find out what it is. And which I did. And that was 15 years ago, and I've been researching. And I healed myself. Fibromyalgia in America, when you get fibromyalgia, it is so invasive that it puts you in disability. Okay? That's how bad it is.
Plug that in. I'm going to call Stephanie because I'm not sure it's still working. Just plug it back in. Somewhere there. Let me go call Stephanie.
So I had to find a way of healing myself with all these different powers. So afterward, I felt that no, I cannot do this like this. I have to try to help other people. So I came up with a procedure to help people with fibromyalgia for 3 months. We help them go back to normal life. And I came up with a procedure also for hormonal problem and then gut problem. So I have a Facebook page, I have a YouTube channel. So I thank God my husband will keep pushing me and say, you all need people who are suffering the same thing that you're suffering. You have suffered and you're well and you didn't do anything about it. So this is how we come along. And I will never wish anyone to get fibromyalgia. Because it's not only one problem you have multiple problems, and the doctor cannot find what's wrong with you. If you don't change the way you eat, if you don't heal your gut, you're not gonna get better. If you not cook your food, I'm pretty sorry. Because you're gonna have all kind of problems. Not only are you gonna have gut problem, hormonal definitely, and then you're gonna have pain all over. So this is my story, and I'm very happy to talk to everyone. And I'm very blessed. I always say that I hear what the problem is.
Wait around.
So, do we have any questions?
Another time it's back here.
How is your name? My name is Francis Ford. My question is what makes it what was happened now about all your how we can deal with out there and stuff because I find that rather interesting.
Let me answer that. That is very interesting. There's a company, actually one of our competitors called Movie out there. And if you try it, a lot of people talk about the way that it smells funky, and people don't like it. It's not a natural or organic product, so I would recommend you stay away from it. What's nice about H.E.R.S, so this is a shameless plug for those of you who have your phones. If you go online, I'll spell H.E.R.S for you. K-U-S-H-A-E. People find me K-U-S-H-A-E. If you go on H.E.R.S, we have over 12 products that are natural and organic that's perfect for down there care. We actually call it natural care for down there. And that's trademark. So if you see anybody else saying it, and we have everything from natural deodorants for down there, cleansers that are gentle, no fragrances, no chemicals, that make you feel soft and moisturized when you're stripped and dry down there. Things to prevent under boob rash. This is someone handed on this stuff. And it's going to prevent the rashes and irritation. Everything, hyperpigmentation between the thighs. If you don't feel comfortable repeating, we have natural products that will help you fight hyperpigmentation. So H.E.R.S is one of the few doctor formulated natural line of products that's going to be good for down there care. And so I highly recommend you take a look at us versus them.
Okay, before,
KUSHAE. And for those of
Okay.
you on Instagram, I'll do it too.
I just want to say, make a very quick announcement. I know you guys have a lot of questions, but we have a packed day today. And so we cannot spend the entire day on this. But these ladies are going to be here, and you can chat with them after. So we're going to take about another 2 or 3 questions, and then that's it. Okay, so we have like 2 minutes. Is that fine?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
In the corner here.
Yeah. Yes. Dr. Nora wants to say something based on your question.
Hold on. Paper is not a good idea. Hold this next to you.
Always trying to make it.
Hold this
If you don't know,
It's fine.
you see something, what is this? That's something not supposed to be. It is very, very
You can't be screen looking at it. Make sure it's looking at it.
This one, we have a question in the back. Okay, whose hand was in the back? Yeah? Palestinian.
Hi everyone, I am Nikki Kimmer. I'm a holistic trauma recovery therapist. And I so much appreciate all this information because I think it is important for everyone to know, especially women. The only other thing I didn't hear highlighted, so I just want to kind of add on to it, hoping that Dr. will also add on, is the role of stress in your pH balance for your vaginal area. If you're struggling with toxic stress and you have a history of trauma and you are not addressing it, it too can affect your pH balance. So I treat a lot of women who come into me with PMDD, their pH balance is off, they're going to start over and over again because they have STDs, not realizing that the anxiety or the suppressing is also triggering that off balance that you're experiencing in your
So far.
so I just wanted to share that with everyone, but thank you all so much. It was very informative. I appreciate it. Nikki Cameron.
Okay, Nikki for the plug. Nikki is here plugging her stuff, and she will be our next panelist in our future event. Thank you, Nikki. And we have another question?
Hi everyone, my name is Anita Elizabeth-Arnold, and I'm the founder of Baby Aunties, where we make menopause make sense through my workshops and events. My question is, for someone like myself who's postmenopausal, do you have anything you can recommend as just like a must for gut health?
Our gut is a number one places for us to heal. If your gut is not healed, whatever you do, it's going to be wasting your time. Your vagina, your hot flash, whatever it is. Everything's not in your gut. This is why they say your gut is our second brain. So if your gut is not in proper shape, you're going to get all kinds of sickness eventually. So the gut is a number one way of study. It's the gut. When a patient comes to me, the first thing I do is clean your gut. Change the way you eat, your gut, and you're going. Otherwise, if you're eating the way you're eating, and then, it's like wasting our time.
And just to piggyback on that, I do a prebiotic and a probiotic. So help with that. And usually there are a number of other supplements.
Okay, that brings us to an end. Did you guys enjoy this? I was just about to say that. I was going to get to that, sure. So you can speak with them separately after this, and they will tell you where you can connect with them individually. Also, if you did enjoy this and you want to have another one where we can actually sit and enjoy and have more questions, please let us know and we'll arrange it by your interest. Right now, I'm going to ask you guys to. We can take more questions. We can take more questions. Let's hear it. You guys are excited. balance of our PJ?
That's a great question. So if you believe it's partner related, then it's either because, again, semen is very alkaline, so it might just be that your partner's semen is going to throw you off. Or it could be a very unhygienic situation for your partner. Now, some people suggest that it can say that your man is cheating on you. That could be true. Because if someone else's pH is a little bit whacked, they're kind of jacking everybody up. So, but I'm not saying that that's also the case. It can be very monogamous relationships that are still having huge drama. You would want to, make sure that you jump into showers and make sure that we're cleaning up the best we can, because bacteria is bacteria, and that's what's happening here is exchange. Or if you end up with a very active infection, and you checked it with your doctor, and they say, yes, it is BP, or yes, it is yeast infection, we actually have created a natural product called boric acid suppositories. Are you guys familiar with boric acid suppositories? Yeah? Okay. So here's what I need you to understand, a little science. Boric acid is, there's medical grade boric acid, and then there's boric that can be used to kill rodents, okay? Like insects. I need y'all to be very clear. Think about H2O. I'm going to give you a quick chemical lesson, chemistry lesson. H2O made of hydrogen, right? Two hydrogens and an oxygen, that's water. That's the sustenance of life. Without that, you die. But then there's also the hydrogen bomb, made of hydrogen and oxygen, and without that extra hydrogen, you blow up the whole world. So chemistry is important to understand because you can have the same basic molecule, but in a different fashion can either keep you alive or kill you, right? So that's kind of how boric does. It's made of boron, that basic chemical element. Those of you who are dirty like me. And then you do one thing, is killing roaches. You do another thing that we do, finding in seawater and also fruits, and it actually kills your pH balance. So the boric acid suppositories are a dry capsule. You can literally in the bathroom, cup of your foot, boom, inside, do a Kegel squeeze. Make sure now, if you got practicing Kegel now, get that together. Do a Kegel squeeze and we'll pull that suppository right up where it needs to be, and that will literally take your pH from crazy to comfortable. Okay? And there's a whole, directions around how to take it. If you're having active infection, it's twice a day for 10 days. If you just want to prevent something not feeling good, it's once a day as needed. And it's fantastic. I keep buying on that. You just never know. Because again, it can be your cycle, it can be natural stress, can throw off your pH. So it's always important to not walk around feeling not so confident and have something that you know that you can rely on. So hopefully H.E.R.S can do that for you today. Okay? You're welcome. Thank you for the question. And real quick plug, H.E.R.S.com. If you guys have no idea where to start, there is a personalization quiz. You can go on there and answer a few questions, and it'll say, here are the natural and organic products that you need for your own hygiene routine. Because many of us don't even have one, right? To be honest, we don't have products that we can rely on when things go awry. So H.E.R.S is both for daily maintenance and when things go crazy, but the routine quiz can help you figure out exactly what you need. So rather than asking me, because I'm going to ask you very awkward questions, just take the quiz. Okay, so H.E.R.S.com and check out the quiz.
I want to kind of ask a question back about gut health because I have heard about it a lot. You see things on TV about medication, okay? And you mentioned your story. So can you give a little bit more detail as to what exactly did you do to get your health and what you did to keep your gut health?
Well, the first thing I do is change the way I eat. Totally. I make no food that doesn't go in sugar. I don't put nothing in cans, boxes, out of my plate. And that's how you start it. By changing the way you eat. And then I still eat meat, but I make sure it's organic. I eliminate sugar totally. The sugar not only mess you up, it's help cancer. It's like, you know how you thirsty, you need to drink water? It's that sugar with cancer. Okay? It's feeding your cancer. Because we all have cancer cells in our body. But by eating so much sugar, it's that. I eliminate flour. I know for us as Caribbean, it's very difficult to eliminate flour. And in us as Caribbean also too, we
having fun. That's what I mean. And I'm very surprised no one ever heard of Castle Park. I have Castle Park. Everybody coming here telling me what is this? Castle come from us. And we don't know what it is. And that's the first thing we do, a casserole pop to clean our liver. Our liver, if your liver is not properly functioning, nothing will function. Stop eating eat our roots and vegetables.
All right. Anyone else?
Hi, my question is, how do you feel about
Did you guys hear the question?
How do I feel about yoni steaming? Y'all heard of yoni steaming? No.
Some people have been about.
Oh, you haven't heard of yoni steaming?
Yeah.
Okay, so there are some folks, and it goes back to, Caribbean traditions, actually, African traditions, and where they would take, typically after a woman had a baby, they would then take the herbs. Now, of course, our ancestors knew so much more about herbs than we did, right? So they knew which trees and which plants to pull to get that uterus back to snap position and all these things. They would put it in a hot, bowl basin of water and have you sit or cover with a towel and have you sit over it. And it would pull down any extra blood that was, stayed in the canal after birth. It would really get a woman's womb back to feeling more like a woman, right? What we've then now done is taken that traditional history and can come up with the foolishness that we call yoni steaming. Now, here's why I call it foolishness. I like it, but not really. I like it because it makes sense and it can work for you. But here's why I don't like it. Most modern day practitioners, yoni steamers, don't know the herbs, and they are getting them from sources that use pesticides. So they're just going online, grabbing a bag of roses or whatever they're putting in this stuff. They don't know that it's pesticide free. It usually isn't. They're getting it from overseas, which don't give a damn about being safe. And now you're steaming rose and bug killer up your vagina. Very dangerous. The practitioners also are not taking medical history. They're just like, oh, come on in, get your yoni steam, sit down, here's your cat. I'm sorry, you have no idea who I am, or whether I even have a period, or what my situation is. If you go to a yoni steam practitioner and they do not ask you for medical history, leave immediately. There are herbs for cooling, which tend to be better for menopausal women, and there are herbs for heating and healing for women who are actually trying to have babies. There are herbs that do different things. If she or he doesn't know who you are and what you got going on, they're just giving you that, a bag of foolishness. They don't even subscribe to understanding your health and what herbs might fit. So our ancestors understood that. The modern day practitioner does not. There are very few that actually going the route of understanding how to match your health with the right herbs. Those are the ones you should be looking for. That's why I'm okay with them, but they are far and few between. So do your research. Don't sit on a pot of herbs without talking to me. No, don't sit on a pot. Be like, girl, what's up? And I'll be like, no, girl, don't do that. So it's okay, but be very careful. Does that make sense, y'all? Yeah? Okay.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Joyce Bryan. My question is, doctor, how do you know or to look for what symptoms if you think you have bad gut health?
After we eat, we feel like we say, oh, and you just gas. Most of us have gas. No, you don't have gas. You got some gas. And whatever you eat, all these things, it's bad, what problem you have. Passing gas, after you eat whatever it is, and you feel like indigestion, why am I feeling indigestion? And you ate something, after you eating it, and in your belly, you say, oh, I can put my pants on. Why? It's gut problem. No.
Well, I national gas passer. So I am like, what is eroding?
No. Let me explain you what gas is. I'm gonna explain very vividly, and you don't understand. You see, you put a pot, you put food in it. Whatever food, especially food that's, spoil very easy. You put it today. Tomorrow you put another one. Tomorrow you put another one. Okay? And what you see, bubble, is because you are not passing your food and then it's interconnected. Different food. It's not like everything you eat together. Sometimes you're not supposed to eat one food and another. And then sugar does that also too. We are not supposed to be passing gas.
We're not ever supposed to pass that.
We can pass a lot of gas, but if you blow,
It's not obnoxiously. Passing gas is okay.
I mean, there is a reason we have an instrument to pass something. This is, how do you feel about that?
I think you can pass gas, but again, it's the amount of
Yes. All right, okay. I think I need a one-on-one with this doctor after. It's very, no, there's one here.
She has a question. It's okay to fart with us.
Listen to me. Drink that water. That's my question. Will you please listen to me to drink that water?
Lovely. Drink that water.
And the more alkaline, the better.
All right, I'll come back to you. Somebody on this side has their hand up.
There's a question over here too. Quick tip to quickly alkaline your water. Be careful if you have high blood pressure. You can add mineral salt to water to alkaline it very quickly.
Please keep your questions very short and succinct so that we can get to as many as possible. Deal? My name is Diane. They always recommend probiotics.
Yeah, so that also goes to gut health, also vaginal health. There's bacteria everywhere in your body, right? The good news is that if your body's functioning, the good bacteria is doing its job of keeping everything else at bay. Those boric acid suppositories that we talked about actually has probiotics in it. So if you have something going with your pH balance, you can get probiotics right to the source. But it is important to continue taking probiotics for your gut health. I'm not so good with it, shame. But whenever I feel weird, I'm like, oh snap. So yeah, it's important to try to stay as regular as you can.
All right, we're going to take two final questions. So your hand is up.
Ms. Debbie.
Can you talk a little more about the check interventions?
Absolutely. My favorite talk about it, actually. So So again, my company is called Thermoband. And Thermoband is, I mentioned really, when we initially started the company, and this is something that I co-founded the company with my daughter. So it was a mother-daughter dynamic duo to change, and destigmatize and rebrand menopause in an empowering time. And what we wanted to do, which is to use technology to create, to make temperature portable. What we recognized was that when women were having a hot flash, in our own ingenuity, we found something cool. Whether it's a fan, it's a frozen, cold bottle of water, a glass of ice, if our hands in cold running water, all of that was helpful. So what our technology does is to make that temperature portable. And we have proprietary technology to make it preventive, or preemptive, I should say. So we have a device that has, that provides a cooling or heating, so if you have a cold flash, so if you're too cold or you're too hot. So it's what I'm wearing. This is a prototype. So what happens is on the inner wrist, yeah, so it's called a Thermoband zone. And what we do is, on the inner wrist, is really a cool plate that provides a cool sensation on the pulse point of the inner wrist. So through the body, with the thermoregulation, if you introduce a cool sensation, why does it work? We didn't know why it worked. Why does putting your hand or holding on to something cold or sticking your hand in cold water? We didn't know why it worked, we just knew it did. And the scientists who really understood thermoregulation received the Nobel Prize a few years ago. And what it is the body's natural ability to perceive comfort using its environment and the world around us. So the hot flash is really, everything is triggered by hormones. So the low estrogen levels causes the brain to receive a false signal saying that you're overheating, basically. This is like a lay way of explaining. So low estrogen levels, lacking hormones, causes false sensations or an impulse to the brain that tells our thermoregulatory center that we're overheating. So the hot flash is really the body's natural ability to cool us down. So when that temperature, our skin temperature heats up, it causes us to sweat, that cools us down. So it's really the body in its infinite wisdom doing what it's supposed to do, which is to provide a cool sensation. So the reason why introducing a cool sensation is so powerful is because that pulse point sends another trigger to the brain saying we're actually not overheating. So what happens, for folks who have tested and use the device, is it turns off. It says, all right, we don't need to cool you down because you're not actually overheating. So the sooner we can get that impulse to the brain, the quicker the hot flash turns off. And then we have an app which provides digital health insights. So we know, our heart rate, our blood pressure trends, and it's really to provide information to empower us to share with our clinician and provide individualized care. And wonderful for sleep. So that's our invention, is for it to detect when the hot flash is coming on, turn on, so that we don't have to, you do a manual stimulation, or it turns on, so you can sleep, and it can take care of the hot flash for you.
Thank you so much. We have one final question, and we're going to try and keep it very short so you guys can get on. Okay?
So really quick, because we're being flexible, better nursing and COVID-19 products, so I had a question about people who are still menstruating and pregnant people, any recommendations for COVID-19 products, for the pump, tampon, pads, pre-pull, any thoughts? Yes. So you're absolutely right. The majority of the major companies always Tampax, Kotex are dangerous. What is typically happening is they are bleaching the cotton that they're using. So they'll say, oh, it's 100% cotton, but you bleached it. And there is a chemical that is released from bleached cotton called dioxin. And dioxin can cause cancer. It's very clear. The medical research is very clear about that. So every time, if you're inserting tampons, if it is not a true organic cotton tampon with no bleach, you are inserting chemicals into your system every single month. And over time, right, it's almost like things that happen over time. You can take vitamins because you believe it's going to prevent stuff, but you don't see the effects of chemicals until it's too late, right? You never know that. So we are very wary of tampons. I would suggest staying away from tampons if you can. They also can lead to, of course, we've heard of toxic shock syndrome. I am familiar with ladies who have had double amputations and a lot of other things that led to death because of that. So tampons to me are just nasty business. And I know they're convenient sometimes, but if you would rather not have the menstrual come out, then cups, silicone, medical grade silicone cups would be much preferred. It takes a little getting used to. You gotta find the cups that works for you. But cups actually collect about 8 hours worth of blood. And if you think about it, your regular working day is 8 hours. So if you pop one in the morning, you go to work, you come back home, you're not having to take it out and dump it in anybody's bathroom. You get home, you shower, you take it out, you can free bleed for a second in the shower, get yourself cleaned up, and pop the cup back in. Much more exciting. The pads, and you have to be careful about the pads too. The coating particularly the pads, you know, that soft coating is usually a plastic, and plastics are also chemicals, and those are not good for you either. So you really be careful about the always that you're using. Make sure it's a 100% cotton top, which is difficult to find. The free flowing you can, but it's inconvenient. So if you're home on the weekends and you want to do that, no problem. But please read the ingredients, ladies. The companies that manufacture pads and tampons are now having to report what ingredients are in them. They never used to have to do that. There was legislation that was just passed that is forcing them to be clear about what they're using. They have been hiding dangerous ingredients for generations. Please read the back of these labels like Doc mentioned. It is so important. Stop picking up things off shelves because the stores don't care about our health. They care about their own wealth. Be clear about that. Okay? So don't say I didn't tell you. I'm screaming.
All right.
Question.
Okay, we have given you guys more than you even bargained for, right? This was amazing. I want to thank our panelists, Kimber.
Sir, did I have to
Jerome.
Oh, I didn't know that was a camera.
Sorry about that.
Sorry about probably killed 20 minutes.
If you want more of this, I mean, please send us an email. Let us know you want more. You would love to have this discussion again. And we'll try to arrange it.